Welcome to Chandwell. My name's Michael and I'm building this N-scale model of a rundown West Yorkshire town set in 1993. I don't have a specific update or anything to show you at this time, but I realise it's been a couple of weeks since I've done a video and I thought I'd show you what I've been working on and what you can expect over the coming weeks as we reach the end of 2024. I made a start on Sunday on number 13 Station Road. Now on 13 Station Road, it's a lovely small thin building and it's got kind of a half timbered, almost Tudor style frontage, and again it's based upon Brook Street in Ilkley. The real challenge with this one was the very delicate windows. It's very similar to the frontage that I did on the Chandwell Best Kebab or on Sita's Jasmine restaurant. It's got a lovely wraparound, but it only comes out a couple of millimetres, so to get a 1 millimetre wide bit of sticky labelled framed window in there was a real challenge, and I was looking forward to sharing that challenge with you, maybe in a video today. However, work commitments meant I never got around to making that video, and also I've actually abandoned this approach. It's just a little bit too fine. I was reaching the limit of what I could cut out by hand from a piece of paper, less than a millimetre wide, some of these bars, and then also I had to paint them, or at least make it black to take the white edge off, so it looked good. So in the end I've abandoned this, even though I think I was on the right lines. It was going to look quite good, I think. I was going to spend the video just showing you this is how not to do it and this is how I'm going to do it in future, but I still might make that video, but that's still to come. I've got a much better approach in mind of how I'm going to do this, and that's what this hobby is all about, isn't it? It's about learning from our mistakes, trying out new techniques that you might not have tried before, working out what works, working out what doesn't, iterate and get it better next time. So hopefully in a week or two you should be able to see this in a proper video. So as you know from previous videos, I'm also making a model of Bradford Cathedral. Last time we saw it, I'd just finished the nave, both this side and that side, the north and the south side. But you can also see I've now begun on the tower. This has taken far, far longer than I expected it would. I had hoped to get the entire tower finished by the end of October. But here we are, it's in November, I'm just over halfway up. But I think you'll agree, well I hope you'll agree, it's looking really, really good. Let's have a look then. So the doorway, first of all, is recessed into the wall in the same way as I did the windows on the nave. And it's a photograph of the real door with another photograph with the bars cut out on top to give it a bit of 3D relief. Above that I've got the main window. I did a video on how I drew the window in Inkscape, so I'm not going to go into that again, but again it's made of 4 sheets of very thin card, each one ever so slightly narrower than the one before it, to give a nice kind of beveled look, or at least a hint of a beveled look on the window, and that's worked quite nice. The clock, I used my typical graffiti technique in Inkscape to make it look like it's just painted onto the stonework like the real thing in Bradford. And then because the hands were just big enough, I managed to cut them out of individual sheets of paper and stick them on top just to give that little hint of 3D relief. And that's working quite nicely. The buttresses look good. I've got the edges quite crisp. Some of them need a little bit of tidying up. It's not great. I've got a little bit of a hole to fill in. But as you can see, I'm building it out of boxes and stacking them as I go. So the biggest question when it comes to the cathedral is how I'm going to make those pinnacles on the top. They're about 2 meters tall, spiky things. Possibly could make them out of cocktail sticks, or one of my channel members actually suggested a cocktail sword. That's a brilliant idea. That should make something very similar to this. But if you've got any more ideas, please do let me know. How can I make this in N-scale without a 3D printer and without a laser cutter? But to hint at, or at least get some kind of hint of those knobbly bits that are on top, those lovely gothic things that stick out on these pinnacles. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. So I'm just waiting for another set of videos from Maggie so that she can put in her take on the tower and tell us all the interesting stories about the tower at Bradford Cathedral. I'll get the top finished and then hopefully we'll have a video before the end of the year. Speaking of videos, before the end of the year I want to make a special Back to Basics episode. I've learnt everything that I know from making the excellent downloadable kits from scalescenes.com, and I thought it's about time that I did a video to introduce Scale Scenes to people who might not have downloaded one before, to show how I would go about making a Scale Scenes model and the things it's taught me, and the similarities between the Scale Scenes method and how I approach scratch building my own models in Chandwell. So watch out for that, it should be quite interesting, especially if you've never worked with Scale Scenes before. I'm also aware, because a lot of you have told me, that Britney Scroggins hasn't been in a video for a while. So I'm seeing Britney tomorrow, and I'm going to ask her to come out of semi-retirement, do a bit of work for the Visit Chandwell Tourist Board, and maybe she can introduce my end of the year top 20 video, which is a bit of a tradition, so it'll be really nice to hear Britney's take on that. Channel members, as ever, you'll be able to vote for your top favourites, and we'll call that out in the video, maybe with a special message from Britney. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, there's details if you press the silver button at the end of this video. It's a great way to support the channel, and there's a lovely little community building up in the comments on the members only videos that I put up every Sunday. And to round off the year, I'm wanting to do a question and answers video where I will respond to your questions, any questions that you might have. So if you do have any questions that you'd like me to answer in that video, please do put them in the comments to this video, whatever it might be, about my tools, my materials, my techniques, about my plans for the future in Chandwell, or about my progress on the cathedral. Any questions, please do put them into the comments of this video, and I'll be able to answer them personally in an upcoming video before the end of the year. So until then, let me know what you thought of this video, a little bit different to usual, in the comments if you like, and I will see you in the next video, which will all be about the top of Station Road again, or maybe the completion of the cathedral tower. Let's see how that goes. So for now, thank you for watching this video, take care, and I'll see you next time.